We should be live. Alright, welcome back everyone. It's been a hot minute, but we are here. I'm going to do what I normally do and just get this started, and I'll explain what's going on. Alright, we should be live. Okay, the sound is coming through. Very good. Forgot that in the last video, but that's okay, because the last video was terrible. And wasn't Assassin's Creed. Sounds like my voice is at least coming through, which is a start. I just need to do this. Share that to here. If I know what I'm doing. That's good. Chat's pulled up. And I just need to turn a couple things off. And set this over here. Out of the way. Excellent. Okay. Now, on to this. We haven't been playing this for a hot minute. Haven't played it off screen. And I'm excited to get back to it, but I'm still kind of in the middle of figuring out a lot of stuff with moving, so I'm going to be moving mid to late July. So around that time you won't see a lot of videos. Let me just see where we're headed here. I know we could do more peg leg stuff, but I don't want to right now. I believe we need to go down to New York. Yeah, let's come in from this side. Anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, I mean, I would expect not a lot of videos right when I'm moving, especially since where I'm moving, my room is not actually built yet. There needs to be a wall constructed. So it'll be at least a week until I have that set. Oh, hey, cutscene. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and then once everything's reset up, it'll be a lot easier to stream more consistently. And I know I said I would do Oblivion, but okay, we're walking slow. I decided I wanted to do this more. Oh, I should be on my horse.
So what is your stake in all this?
Same as yours. Peace, stability. A land in which all might live side by side, free and equal.
Why not join the Brotherhood then?
My father was an assassin. Quite good at his job too, as I understand it. But I hope to have children someday. It's hard to live in two worlds at the same time. So I chose to live in one.
I understand.
I still contribute as I can. That's why we're here now.
He's taking a risk for us. I am grateful. Alright. Sorry, sir. Just walking through here. Trotting through here. New York is pretty neat. Not a lot of skyscrapers yet. What can I say? I hope my sound quality's okay. It sounded okay. That was also just through my phone that I was testing it.
What can you tell me of Thomas Hickey?
He has been running a counterfeiting ring in the city.
Let's read up on him here, actually. Okay, so the new stuff is right here. Hickey resurfaces during the rebel occupation of New York in 1776. He became a member of George Washington's personal bodyguard, commonly known among the soldiers as the Life Guard. I'd imagine it took some pretty clever political maneuvering to get him there, given his record. I've seen some suggestions that he was a well-respected member of the Connecticut militia, but I can't find a service record for him there, and I have my doubts Hickey could ever be described as well-respected. In any case, Hickey immediately betrayed his commission by planning to assassinate Washington. Maybe TH stood for that hooligan. It could be.
Locate the source of his operation, and we can have him arrested. He cannot harm the commander if he is in prison.
Do you know where he is?
Not exactly, but I have an idea where we can begin the search.
Yeah, it's really neat to see New York at this time in history. We will see it in one more Assassin's Creed game. I won't spoil any of them, but it's pretty neat. The Culper Ring. This was a network of rebel spies operating in New York and Connecticut from 1778 until the end of the American Revolution. The group was founded after British forces left Philadelphia and re-established their headquarters in New York City. Washington knew that he needed people on the inside. I've always wanted to use that phrase, and between you and me, I also got quite a kick out of rebel spies, to report on British troop movements. He asked his newly appointed head of intelligence, Benjamin Talmadge, to find some spies, which Talmadge did. Talmadge needed people he could trust absolutely, so he began recruiting his childhood friends. Nothing says friendship quite like offering someone a job that involves risking their life. The name Culper Ring is taken from Samuel Culper Sr. and Samuel Culper Jr., the code names of two of the ring's main informants. I don't know who they were, but I imagine one was slightly older than the other. The group's biggest accomplishment was probably informing Washington of a planned attack on the French forces in Rhode Island in 1780. They're also credited with uncovering Jesus Christ, if I can read, that would be ideal. Uncovering Benedict Arnold's betrayal at West Point, though the evidence for that is sketchier. In any case, the ring delivered secret messages for years, and none of its members ever were captured. With one possible exception, a woman referred to as 355, whose real identity and fate isn't known. The group is credited for being the most effective intelligence operation of the war on either side. You can't know how much it pains me to write that. It took ages. Yes, that's your British pride talking there. Having been defeated once. Oh, look here. Have we already read up on New York? Oh, this is specifically Smith & Company Brewery. At last, we can talk about beer. This brewery was built in 1752 by Jonas Smith and his son Elias. By 1775, it was the largest brewery in New York. Smith was nominally a loyalist, but that didn't stop him from providing beer to Washington's army when it was stationed in the town, or to the British regulars after their arrival. It seems neither army cared about loyalties where beer was concerned. That's the kind of business attitude that built America, the American dream. I mean, yeah, that's kind of how things still operate. They just kind of sell whatever to whoever is willing to buy. Can I not get in trouble for walking over people? I wonder where that brewery was. We must have passed it, right? Alright, Talmadge, where are we going? These old school buildings. And probably almost none of them still exist. Almost.
There are rumors of bad bills being circulated here. No doubt they come from Thomas.
Get to the bottom of it then.
What are you up to? This isn't money. It's colored paper. You've cheated me for the last time. God!
Alright, well. Oh, but I hear money and I want it. Be nice and sneaky. Shoemaker, leatherwork, handbag, suitcase. I am a sneaky assassin. Sneakiest that there ever might have been. Don't see me. Okay, I can't climb that. Keep going. Ain't nobody following you. You definitely don't look suspicious for turning around and just looking back and forth repeatedly. Let's let him get a little bit of distance. I'm just on a ladder. You don't see me. Where are you going? Why are you coming back? Why did he start walking this way? You can't just do that. You're on a script, buddy. Alright, Alright. Actually, where are we going? Would you mind talking?
Oh, Daniel, let's put them bills away. The guards is onto us.
How? What happened?
Damn shopkeep caught me out. Brought the guards, but I gave him the slip.
Boss is gonna be mad.
Not so mad as if I'd gotten caught. Besides, we've got most everything we need for the job now anyway.
Best go tell him. I'll warn the others.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't spotted there. Don't need to be on that building anymore. Let's go. Oh, what am I stuck on? Really? I got like slightly stuck so you can see me? Okay. Sure. Maybe if there was like a bench to sit on, I could have sat on a bench or something and not been seen. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. If there's no way to predict when he's going to turn around, there's no way to predict where I need to be hiding. I thought I was a decent boost in the back. Also, you can walk in through the left side of that, but not the right side of that. I mean, I assume that's because you're supposed to climb up this to follow this guy. Alright. Okay, I'm just a fool. I should pay more attention. Buttonwood. Buttonwood Agreement. Date signed 1792. The Buttonwood Agreement is the precursor to the New York Stock Exchange. It was signed in 1792 under a buttonwood tree in Wall Street, hence the name. Lucky it wasn't a monkey puzzle tree. That would have not have been a dignified name at all. The agreement itself is fairly simple. 24 local merchants agreed that they would trade only with one another, and that they would take a 0.25% commission on whatever they traded. And in case you're thinking 1792 is too early for there to be stocks to trade, it wasn't. The first war bonds were released by Alexander Hamilton in 1790, 2 years before. So you're wrong and should probably keep your opinions to yourself. Okay, Sean, jeez.
For the finest, daintiest sleep.
Oh, there's been something else in there. I totally saw another one. What else did I miss? Wall Street. Ah, that would explain. In the 17th century, this marked the edge of the city of New Amsterdam, and it was the location of the city's 12-foot palisade wall. The wall itself was torn down by the British in 1699, but the name Wall Street stuck. Man, I am really struggling to talk today. I don't know what's going on. By the late 18th century, this was already becoming a financial center. Traders met at the Merchant Coffee House at the corner of Water Street, and under a buttonwood tree outside to trade securities. This buttonwood tree is the site of the Buttonwood Agreement, which is the beginning of the New York Stock Exchange. The street is only 8 blocks long today as you see it here in the late 1700s. If that seems extremely small, remember, skyscrapers are tall rather than wide. Otherwise, they'd be called floor hookers. I see.
This side of Paris, step into
Yeah, it really
this
isn't
Gatehead's
that
parlor.
long, which
Church
is
Street,
not
past the common.
surprising to me. So, yeah.
In these sultry
Crazy
days,
to
Dr.
imagine
Jones
skyscrapers
reminds us
in this
all to
place.
avoid excessive drinking of water and rather...
Excessive drinking of water, bro. Dude, you're worried about water at this time in history? And I don't know if these guys will get mad at me. I don't think so. I've done nothing to piss them off, right? Okay. He's clearly hiding from them, though. Let's jump in this hay if I have to. Or stand amongst these people. Also fairly good. Where are you going?
Directly from the Rhineland, now at your fingertips.
Alright, start talking.
Travelers, take heed. Recent storms and
I don't know
hot
how I
weather
do
have made
this,
the
but,
roads
yeah.
west intolerably
Heard
pestilent.
what happened at the market. Boss wants everyone back at the shop. As we strike tonight.
Be worried about that business with the guards. I'm telling you, it's nothing. Haven't had a spot of trouble since I slipped away. Of course, I'm taking care to keep my distance.
Can't believe we're really gonna do this.
We'll be heroes. The ones who ended all this talk of revolution.
For the very best in firearms, you need but stop
Oh,
at
the
one
stock revolution,
expedient
yes.
location. Murray's has all patterns in stock.
Can't believe we're really gonna do this.
We'll be heroes. The ones who ended all this talk of revolution. They'll set us up like kings then.
Feature this Sunday at St.
Nah.
Mary's.
Revolution. Bunch of troublemakers looking to upset the apple cart. And some fool filled their heads with rubbish, ruining it for...
Good folk. Really?
Of course. You and me and Hickey. Just some hard luck lads.
Oh, come on. These guys are walking through, fucking up everything.
Salt and other sundries
Come on.
available in bulk
Nah.
from Robinson's.
Revolution. Bunch of troublemakers looking to upset the apple cart. And some fool filled their heads with rubbish, ruining it for the rest of us good folk.
Good folk. Really?
Of course. You and me and Hickey. Just some hard luck lads trying to survive in this cold, cruel world.
Alright, that everything? Okay. Keep going. Why? Cool, that worked. Good. What are you thinking, Connor?
What's this? Thomas Hickey? Might be. What's it to you? Right. Ain't supposed to be none of your kind left. Suppose I'd best be rectifying that then. Get him!
There's another one! Grab him!
Oh, Broad Street. Broad Street is not Broadway, though you'd be forgiven for some confusion as they're right next to one another. This street was named after the Broad Canal, which used to run down the center. The canal was an inlet from the East River, and for a part of its history you could canoe along it. By the late 17th century, however, the water was so clogged that it was difficult and inadvisable. Houses had been built alongside, and both residents and local vendors used the canal to dispose of trash and sewage. When the British regained New York in 1674, they made many improvements to the city, one of which was filling in the now stinking canal and paving the street over it. You can thank me on behalf of all Brits later. Nowadays, Broad Street is in the middle of the financial district and is mostly home to banks and another site you might recognize, the column facade of the New York Stock Exchange.
You get away from there. That's my money.
Didn't want to shove anyone. I'm trying to... Really? There. Jesus Christ, it wouldn't let me tackle him.
Be still. You will do no more harm.
You're a right fool meddling in affairs you know nothing about.
Washington's the only thing keeping the Continental Army together. You kill him, you end all hope for freedom.
Wrong, boyo. With him gone, they'll have no choice but to promote Lee, and then...
You are both under arrest!
Oh, well, we were just having a scrap, officer. Ain't nothing wrong with two men settling their differences the old-fashioned way. Can't we come to a...
Quiet! What are the charges?
Counterfeiting!
I had nothing to do with that.
Course not!
Listen, there are more important things at stake here. This man is planning to...
Man, if only they just listened a little bit. Or maybe Connor could have let on with that. You know? Instead of getting cut off. You know what time it is. It's the prison arc.
You missed me, sweetheart. What? Nothing to say?
If you are here, then Washington is safe.
True. Thing is, I believe I've just been pardoned. Thank you kindly for the rescue, gents.
There can be no further mistakes, Thomas. Am I understood?
What about the assassin? Yeah. He's here. They put him in a cell right next to mine. Guess we didn't get them all, eh?
Deal with this, Charles.
At once, sir.
What are we gonna do?
You're that boy from the Continental Congress. Adams's little lapdog. I think I have an idea. Yes. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Do tell.
All in good time. It's not like the assassin's going anywhere. For now, we should see about getting you better accommodations here.
What are you on about? I thought I was getting out.
I'm afraid you won't be leaving for a while, thanks to Benjamin Talmadge. He's been running his mouth, saying all sorts of things. You're being investigated for plotting to assassinate George Washington.
What a bunch of bollocks. I thought you was gonna handle that.
We'll discuss this elsewhere.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good for Benjamin. But, you know, what can you do? Yeah. Prison life simulator time. This is rough. This is about as fast as I would get out of bed if I had to be here.
Smells even worse than it looks.
I mean, it's your buckets, so what can you say?
That is quite the view.
Is it? Considering we're not even permitted it. I don't think I need to touch that again.
I'm telling you, he's planning to escape. We should get in on it.
Yeah? And what makes you think that?
Caught him carving something in the yard. Slipped it in his pocket real quick when he saw me. Looked like a key.
Probably just a shiv.
Nah, Mason ain't a fighter. Always talking and tricking his way out of trouble. Weasel Weems, they call him. Sticky bastard.
Come on, Finch. He's not so bad. Even taught me some letters once. Gonna write a note to my lady.
Ha! What for? You think that whore's out there pining for you? Saving herself for when you get out? Huh? No doubt she's already moved on to the next fella, and the fella after him.
You shut your mouth before I shut it for you.
Easy now. Was just a joke.
Yeah? Well, it wasn't very funny.
Yeah, it's not a very good joke.
I said knock it off!
Okay. I'm gonna just go to bed, I guess. The life of a prisoner. I do appreciate that they did this. They could have just easily, like, not ever...
Get up!
They're really...
Where are we going?
Stay out of trouble or you'll wind up in the pit.
Oh, shit. Come on. can kill a couple guards, but we don't really want to, it seems.
What are you looking at, half-breed? You not understand English? That it?
Not surprised, but a little rough.
Do I need to knock some sense into that thick head of yours?
Ah. Is that really necessary? The game put me in front of you.
I should try and find this Weems fellow. If he intends to escape,
really wants to
perhaps
push
he
me,
can
doesn't
help
he?
me.
Leave me be. He really wants to push me. There's no other reason he would be doing this. Okay, you can do it. Jesus Christ, relax.
Get out of here.
Okay, you fucked off. Hello. You look smart.
Mason Weems?
Could be.
I need your help.
Oh?
They say you know a way out of here.
They say a lot of things.
I do not have time for games.
A shame, as I was hoping you might play one with me.
Fine.
Are you familiar with the rules?
I wouldn't say I am. I don't really understand.
Seeing as you already know mine, what's your name?
Connor.
Pleased to meet you, Connor. Well played. So, what brings you to Bridewell?
Treachery. I have been falsely accused.
Of course you have.
You do not believe me?
Why should I? You've the look of a brute.
You misjudge. I'm an honest man.
I have no idea how to play this game.
And yet, also a man imprisoned. Tell me how you found yourself in this place.
It is a private matter.
As is what you ask of me.
How do I play this game?
I was trying to prevent a murder.
Oh! Anyone I know?
George Washington.
Okay, the game's over, I think.
The others put you up to this, didn't they? Thought it might be fun to have another laugh at Mason's expense. Fools, a lot of them. To make light of something like this. George Washington is brave beyond measure, loyal like a brother, peerless in character, and unshakable in his convictions. That man is our Jupiter Conservator, destined to lead us not just to freedom, but greatness. Anyone who says otherwise is either a simpleton or a traitor.
Then you understand why I need to get out of here. If I don't help him, he is going to die.
You're serious, aren't you? Very well. But it's going to take some doing. See, everything hinges on the key I forged. But that lout Finch stole it. Took me 3 months to make the thing, too. You need to get it back, or we're not going anywhere.
Consider it done.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get me a key. Who's Finch? Oh yeah, let's read up on Weems. I can't believe he just immediately trusted us, by the way. Mason Locke Weems, later known as Parson Weems, was a one-time parish rector who became a traveling bookseller, writer, and editor. He's most famous for his biography of the life of George Washington, first published in 1800. He was briefly the rector of Mount Vernon Parish, meaning he counted George Washington as one of his parishioners. Weems was a colorful character and a bit of a rogue, always with some story to tell, most of them completely untrue or vastly exaggerated. It's from Weems' biography of Washington that we get the well-known story of young George bravely confessing that he chopped down his father's prized cherry tree. Weems writes that the story is too true to be doubted. But who knows whether the phrase too true to be doubted is too true to be doubted. Weems also went on to write biographies of Benjamin Franklin, Francis Marion, and William Penn, again prizing being entertaining over actual fact. They sold well, however, paving the way for tabloid newspapers everywhere. Yeah, I was going to say, he seems a little too, sort of convicted to, the cause to be believed, but I guess it's not surprising. Oh, I see the thing. Okay.
Well, yes, I used to accompany the expeditions as a porter. They'd go as far as Waterloo.
What? Okay. Sure, whatever. Okay, so you need to stand in a group. Got it. Understood. I understand the mission. Cool. That time it worked. He had money. Which way? I need to go that way. Let's go talk to Weems. Oh, no. Go back to our cell. Okay, no talking to Weems. Weems. What a name. The day after.
This key is useless.
What are you looking at? You in the market for a husband?
What is that even supposed to mean? Unless that was like a prison sex joke. I don't really know.
Your key is useless.
What do you mean?
It did not fit the lock.
It's not meant to.
You forged a key that does not work.
Well, that all depends on what you mean by work. It'll get us out of here. Just not the way you expected.
Then how?
You're going to use it to get the real key off the warden. You have to swap yours for his.
Why not just have me take the real key? Why all this extra work?
He might notice if it went missing. This way, he'll be none the wiser.
And when he tries to use it?
He won't. That's why we're targeting him.
How do I reach the warden?
Yes. This next part, you may not like.
Oh, as if I've liked the others. Out with it.
You need to pick a fight.
What?
Pick a fight, and they'll throw you in the pit.
And how in the world does this help us?
The warden oversees the pit. Getting sent there is the only way to reach him.
I'll give you credit. You've given this plan to risk my life a great deal of thought.
Take down as many as you can. 1 or 2 will only serve to entertain the guards. You need to make them angry. We all have our part to play. Try not to die.
Wow, thanks. We just appreciate that we were just talking about this in the midst of everyone and no one else heard. Also the fact that, like, out of everyone here, me and Weems have, like, the best hair. Connor and Weems. Everyone else is, like, almost bald. Or bald. Anyways. You. Alright, hold on. It's been a second since I played this.
Fancy yourself a troublemaker, eh? Some time in the pits to cool your blood.
Yeah. That hurt. What we got here?
Look at all of you, pathetic, dirty wretches. You're not but swine, suckling at the teats of civilization. Thieves and scoundrels all. And do you acknowledge this? Do you repent and beg forgiveness?
Oh, he walked
No.
away. Fuck.
You elect instead to commit new
back.
and more terrible crimes
I was trying to
inside what should be a place of rehabilitation.
Come back over.
You bide your time, awaiting the day of release, that you might corrupt anew. The worst part is that the good people of New York are forced, quite literally, to pay for your crimes. Where do you think the money for this prison came from? For your outfits? Our wages?
Alright, well, now that he's shut up. Imagine if I dropped it and it got a little too far away. Be real unfortunate. So it's convenient he wasn't looking into our cell when he backed up to it. That guy did not sound like happy. At all.
Need to take care not to raise the alarm.
Yeah, in fact, I'm not even gonna fight that guy. You know what? No, I will not. It worked. It's fine.
You'll find Hickey through that door. It's where they keep the important prisoners. Nicer rooms, more space, those sorts of things. It seems even in prison, who you know makes all the difference.
Thank you, Mason, for everything. I will find a way to repay the favor when my work here is finished.
If we ever see him again. Which I don't believe we will. Oh shit. We're just gonna follow this guy. That worked incredibly well. Cool. We did it. Uh-oh. I said that did not look like a living body.
Not who you was expecting, am I right?
What have we here? I thought we'd finished off your kind.
You would like that, wouldn't you? To rid the world of all who do not share your views.
Guilty as charged. Your meddling in the revolution has caused us no small measure of grief. It cannot continue. Our work is too important. But what would you know beyond all the lies Achilles feeds you and the tales you tell yourself?
I know that the people wish to be free, and that men like Washington fight to make it so.
Please, the man is weak. He stumbles and stammers through each engagement, making it all up as he goes along. His pedigree is pathetic, his military record even more so. I could go on and on, but we'd be here for days, so manifold are his faults, so deficient are his merits. He must be dealt with. You as well. I will abide no more flies in the ointment.
Here's how it's gonna work. First we bind you and bring you to your cell. Then tomorrow, you go before the court, accused of plotting to kill good old Georgie. Maybe we could pin the murder of the warden on you too. You did kill him after all. And who wouldn't take the word of Charlie over here? Once that's all squared away, well then.
To be fair, I didn't kill that guy.
All those years ago, the child in the forest was you.
I said I would find you.
And so you have. But not quite as you had expected, am I right? You know, all of this might have been avoided had you only done what I asked. But what's done is done.
Yeah, things did not go to plan here. Prison arc just became get killed arc. That's rough.
Up! Up with ya! I said get up! Walk!
Honestly, just in this part alone kind of goes through maybe the worst treatment of any of the characters.
Bye now!
In the series so far. At least the main characters. Katarina was not treated well either for a little bit, but still. She was never going to get hung as far as I'm aware. Must be pried out. And don't worry, we're skipping the courts. Getting right into the wagon.
Hello, Connor. Didn't think I'd miss your going away party, did ya? I hear Washington himself is going to be in attendance. Hope nothing bad happens to him.
You said there'd be a trial.
Oh, no trial for traitors, I'm afraid. Lee and Haytham sorted that. It's straight to the gallows for you.
I will not die today. The same cannot be said for you.
That's enough! Keep moving!
There's Washington. So close, and so far. I wonder if he remembers us. Yeah, you can definitely hear and see some things going on if you pay attention. I think the sequence is pretty cool. See, Haytham put together a team, but I've been putting together a team.
You are not alone. Only give a cry when you need us.
Forget about me. You need to stop Hickey. He's... Up you go. Don't want to be late now, do we? You just had to be an hero, didn't you? You and Georgie both. Now you see what it gets you. A pine box, little else.
You know, they don't explain right now why he doesn't recognize Achilles, but we'll eventually learn. Just not in this game.
Brothers,
it's not immediately clear.
Sisters, fellow patriots. Several days ago, we learned of a scheme so vile, so dastardly, that even repeating it now disturbs my being. The man before you plotted to murder our much-beloved general. Indeed, what darkness or madness moved him, none can say, and he himself offers no defense, shows no remorse. And though we have begged, and pleaded with him to share what he knows. He maintains a deadly silence. If the man will not explain himself, if he will not confess and atone, what other option do we have but this? He sought to send us into the arms of the enemy. And thus we are compelled by justice to send him from this world. May God have mercy on your soul.
The choking sound was a bit much there.
Need to stop, Hickey. Go!
Yeah, it's very clear that Hickey does not know who Achilles is, even though he would have been involved in killing the assassins, which is wild. Alright, Hickey. We'll read up on City Hall soon enough, don't you worry. Just gotta get to Hickey. I didn't mean to let that guy die. That was rough. But we saved George.
Damn it. I thought I'd at least live to see another day. Shame.
I want answers. Why did Johnson try and buy my people's land? Why was Pitcairn targeting Adams and Hancock? What purpose would Washington's murder have served? Why does your order support the British?
How should I know? The Templars, Lee, the big man, Haytham, they has the money. They has the power. That's the reason I threw in with them. That's the only reason. Sure, they have some sort of vision for the future too. I didn't give a damn about any of that. They can sing their songs about mankind and its troubles. They can make their plans and spring their traps. Don't bother me none. They paid me, so I said yes. Didn't bother to ask who, or how, or why. Didn't care.
You chose to side with men who would rob us of our humanity simply because it was more profitable?
What else is there? I'm not some blind fool who give up all I've got on principle. What is principle anyway? Can you bring it to the bank? Don't look at me like that. We're different, you and I. You're just some blind fool who's always chasing butterflies. Whereas I'm the type of guy who likes to have a beer in one hand and a tea in the other. Thing is, boy, I can have what I seek. Had it even. Your hands will always be empty.
I really appreciate that he didn't do the "we're not so different."
At ease, Mercy! At ease! I said, lower your goddamn guns! This man's a hero!
He just walked through that man.
Oh, the general can be so stubborn sometimes. Piffle, he said, when we warned him something like this would happen. Piffle!
Stop.
He wanted to kill the commander. Nearly killed you as well. He was a scoundrel.
But still a man.
You're nothing if not consistent.
Where is Washington? I need to speak with him.
Bundled off as soon as your execution went sideways. He's likely on his way back to Philadelphia by now.
And so am I.
Something wrong?
He is still in danger. Hickey did not act alone.
You could mention Charles Lee here, but I know it wouldn't probably do anything. But hey, we're not in prison anymore. We did it. We did it. Yeah, actually, I think Hickey's maybe one of the more interesting ones. Specifically,
It's quite impressive
of how he
what
is.
you've accomplished.
Is that a compliment?
Now, don't misconstrue.
Same.
I'm sure the whole endeavor will end tragically. But to have come this far, well, it's more than I ever expected.
The people yearned for freedom but feared to grab hold of it. That fear is gone now.
Thanks to you,
No. This they did on their own.
you diminish your role. But you have always been of humble heart.
I do what is right. No more, no less.
You cannot tell him.
I have to. Otherwise, he will never be safe.
He is safer not knowing. By planting the seeds of doubt, you threaten to topple his entire endeavor. If Washington is paralyzed, Charles Lee will strike. You'll cause the very thing you aim to prevent. Hunt the Templars, as is your duty. But do not drag these men into it.
And for the support of this declaration.
I like how you could hear his speech in the back.
We must now all hang together.
Yes, we must indeed all hang together. Or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately.
You are once more our savior.
I must speak with the commander.
He's gone to try and hold New York. The British intend to take it. I fear we'll need to recall our men from Quebec as well. It's one thing to declare our independence. Now, my friend, we must make it so.
Indeed. Very brief but cool moment. I think that's neat that we got to see it. We got a few other Animus database entries. We'll have to read up on one.
Everything all right? Sean has located a second power source. I've asked Rebecca to charter a flight for us.
Where to?
Brazil.
Oh, yeah, I like this one. This one's awesome. I hope we get another game set in, like, South America, maybe Brazil again someday, but... this is such a cool mission. I like this one a lot.
You there, Rebecca?
Bad reception. Can you hear me?
Well, glad to see that's working. Guess I'll try you back when I'm topside.
These guys had all the space in the world when they walked in. That woman popped into view into air. Okay. It's funny when these games have glitches. Yeah, look at this. This is so cool. I like this. Doubtless plenty of people who have seen stuff exactly like this in real life. I've never actually been on a subway. It's kind of cool to see it. I think it's neat. I've also obviously never been to Brazil. Get some boxers. Be doing some boxing.
Copy now?
Loud and clear.
What's the plan?
According to our intel, the power source is being worn as a bracelet by some tycoon's trophy wife. We're working on pinpointing her location, but she's most likely inside a VIP booth on the stadium's upper level. I'll update you when I know more.
Now to find a ticket.
We don't have time to play nice. Steal someone else's.
Bit of a dick move, don't you think?
Well, I guess you could try and sneak past security instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Methinks.
Certo. Pode entrar.
I don't actually know if you can go through with a ticket. That'd be crazy. I think you can. I don't think. We're definitely gonna sneak through though.
That doesn't look like normal security.
Because it isn't. Those are Abstergo agents. Cross is probably here too. You need to be careful.
Of course Cross is here. Why would he be anywhere else in the world? He's obviously always like 5 feet away.
Look out!
Yeah. He definitely didn't see me go into the bushes. It's fine.
Abstergo agents. Don't let them see you.
Oh shit, yeah. Bro. What the fuck? No, I wasn't ready, okay? Shut up. I had to get in there, and then all of a sudden there was two guys behind me. What the fuck? You can't just do that to me. Okay. I don't think I've ever gotten caught in one of these missions before. That's kind of wild. Okay, we're back here. I can work with this. What?
That doesn't look like normal security.
Because it isn't. Those are Abstergo agents. Cross is probably here too. You need to be careful.
Oh, come on. Why'd you turn around? Go to sleep.
Hide! Hide!
Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, don't report it yet. Otherwise I'll talk. It's fine. I don't know why I didn't just kill them. That would have made some level of sense. Yeah, I knew you guys were there this time.
Você viu este homem? Chame a segurança imediatamente se o vir.
Your target's definitely in the VIP area. The entrance is at the end of this concourse.
Oh, they keep seeing me.
Abstergo agents, don't let them see you.
Great. They've set up a checkpoint.
Segurança!
O que é isso?
Qual é o seu problema?
Let's go through the bathrooms, because there's a second way out of the bathrooms. They won't think to enter
Stick
that
close
one.
to the crowd and you should be okay. Or look for a way around it.
Ele está aqui! Ele está aqui! O homem do cadáver!
Looks like I'm close. Shit. Another checkpoint.
You're gonna have to find another way around. Security's too tight.
Se não me deixar entrar, vou perder o emprego.
Oh, it's fine.
Temos que verificar sua identidade.
Estou com fome.
Olha, aconteceu, só isso. A gente não queria que acontecesse. Só aconteceu. Sinto muito.
Sente muito? Ela é minha irmã, cara!
That'll do.
Ah, está bem. Faz a porcaria da verificação.
Almost there, Dustin.
Que
She's
bando
just
de
on the other
martinhos. Passam 20 minutos simulando sexo anal e fatura milhões. Eu quebro as costas trabalhando 80 horas por semana para tirar 100 pratas violentas. Agora tenho que ficar aqui para ser
Let's see. You gotta be getting close, right? Go to sleep. Ain't nobody gonna care. Look at these people. They aren't gonna care.
Use the catwalks to get across.
Oh, yeah. This part's awesome. I can't believe no one would notice us here. I guess no one's looking up here, but...
Really close now. The power source
So
should
cool.
be in one of the rooms up here.
Who's winning? Oh, they're not. Are they fighting? I think I hear them. Oh, yeah, they are boxing. Yeah, this part's really cool.
Aquele cara tá maluco!
I am nuts. It's true.
Alguém chama a segurança!
All security. Oh, yeah, I see why. Why would you just... I mean, I know you had to reload, but why would you just throw the gun?
Hurry, Dustin.
Because you think I'd pick it up?
The artifact we're sealed. You can't let that happen.
Qual é o seu problema?
Wow, that was cool.
Alguém chama a segurança!
Oh no, you're not stopping me.
Qual é o seu problema?
Oh my god, block. Jesus. Okay. No one has guns, thankfully. Get bent across. Oh, I wanted to that guy? There we go. Give me that. It's funny that we don't just kill him. But hey, he wouldn't be a recurring character if we just killed him.
Okay, head for the metro. I'll hold the train for you.
Can I go through the door? Thanks. Someone has a gun. I heard it. Jesus. Wrong direction. Yeah, I'm not fighting you guys. Sorry. Alright, we got away. It's fine. It's all good. They were definitely far enough behind that the train can just go and we're okay. And they definitely won't know where we're going. It's not like trains have routes that are predetermined or anything, and you can't just send guys to meet us there. Unless they think I went somewhere else. I don't know. It's a little silly. I like the mission though. It's fun.
We can get back to Connor whenever you're ready, Desmond. Unless you want to plug in the power source first.
Oh, we will.
Up to you.
We definitely will. We gotta check out everything that we can. Let's talk to everyone quick.
So, what's the latest? Learn anything interesting while you were exploring?
They were working on some weird stuff towards the end. Trying to engineer new bodies and store their minds inside computers.
Failure after failure. It must have been hard for them.
I worry about it too. I mean, they say there's something in here that'll help us, but what is it? Why is it locked up if it's exactly what we need?
I don't know. Maybe it's dangerous. Maybe they wanted to make sure only you could reach it.
That's the other question. What makes me so special?
I guess we'll know once we open the door. Hey, I hope it's not uncomfortable for me to ask, but what happened with Lucy?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
No, it's fine. I really don't know. I was talking to my dad about it. It's hard to say. I mean, Juno definitely took control, but I think I agreed to it on some level. I think I let her in. No. That's not right. It wasn't her. Not exactly. It was more like a program. Does that sound weird? It showed me things.
What'd you see?
That if I didn't stop Lucy, Abstergo would get the apple, and we'd all be dead.
I still don't understand why she turned on us.
I'm sure she thought she was doing the right thing.
She must have, but realistically, it's just because they didn't want to pay her in real life.
I gotta get back to work. You might want to do the same.
I appreciate that they try and justify it, though. Even if it's a little messed up. Can I talk to you? No? Okay. Let's check our emails. Haven't done that in a minute. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, we read that one already. Alright. This is from Rebecca Crane. Who thinks we should buy a few space heaters? Maybe a couple of jackets too. It's cold on here. Sort of figured. Okay, we already read that one. What? Okay. Sean Hastings, annoying. Abstergo is definitely onto us. Most of the power sources I was tracking are gone. Guess they're rushing to snap them up now that they know we're up to. Yeah, we read that one too. We already read these. Okay, I don't know if we read those. Yeah, I think we already read that one. Why do you delay? If you do not retrieve the key in time, all the world will perish, and you with it. Okay, yeah, we already read that. This one, though. My father was taken from me by human hands, or they called it, for their freedom. They were not even meant to exist. You were not meant to exist. We conjured you, a mistake, an error that cost us the world. My father would sing to me as a child, soft songs of hope and love, his voice forever stilled when your brutish ancestors took up axe and club. Later turned our own works against us. We might have known what was to come and averted it. had you not dragged us into war. This is your fault. So that's, I'm guessing, what she thinks of us. That's pretty neat. American politics from Sean. I'm sure this will be exciting. You know, it's rather incredible the way your lunatic fringe tries to conjure the spirit of the founding fathers to support their various causes. And by incredible, I mean hilarious. They hold up slave-owning, sexist homophobes as if that's some sort of ideal to which one should aspire. Oh, and in case you think I added that last bit for fun, as the sexism and slavery bits are already common knowledge, sodomy was a criminal offense in every one of the 13 colonies except for Georgia, and Thomas Jefferson, champion of personal liberty that he was, advocated for the castration of homosexuals. Lovely fellows, these founding fathers of yours. And now there's that new bit of madness with people asking for the removal of textbook references to their slave owning. And before you think to turn it back round and brightly point out their barbarism was inspired by English law, last I checked, two stupids don't make a smart. I thought the whole point of the revolution was to break free of the old ways, and it certainly doesn't recommend your founders as the sort of persons one should aspire to become, unless you aspire to become a manipulative bigot. Lest you think I'm championing some sort of leftist agenda, I'll gladly shame the internet tough guys who celebrate the Treaty of Tripoli as well. Shame on them for thinking it shows anything other than something taken straight out of the first grader's guide to international relations. Its intent wasn't to prove America wasn't a Christian nation. They were saying they weren't going to reignite their crusades. No, that would be delayed for a couple of centuries. Now, I don't believe your founding fathers wanted to establish a theocracy, and they probably did intend for the country to be welcoming of all religions, but this isn't proof of that. I suppose the point I'm trying to make is that people might want to spend a little less time romanticizing and manipulating the past. Fat chance that. And a bit more time focusing on how to improve the future. Fatter chance still. That's not to say there isn't plenty to be learned from looking back, because there is. It's just that most of these lessons wind up ignored or perverted these days. At best, it's disingenuous and unproductive. At worst, and often, it's rather dangerous. You know what? Honestly, I don't have any disagreements with Sean on that. I think history is incredibly important, and I do think people take it fucking too far. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like not too far. They, idolize people who really do not deserve idolizing. So I don't have any disagreements with what he said there. We've come a long way, and it does feel like people want to take us back
What
to
is
the
a
Stone
fact?
Age.
Is it fixed? Immutable? Certain in its existence and only awaiting discovery? Or might it be changed? Here we learned the answer, and thought that it might save us. They were used to command, to control, to own. But we soon discovered another use. When enough sat in thrall and were told to believe, their thoughts took on form. What was imagined became real. If 100 minds could wish away a wall or create a tree, what might 1,000 do? 10,000 more? Might we change the consensus and will the thread away? We resolved to send one into the sky where it might illuminate us all. Once placed, a sentence would be uttered. Make us safe. In this way, we would change the consensus. We would save the world. But it never came to be. We sent a dozen of them skyward, but there was no way to maintain control, to direct the beam, to enthrall the world, to speak the words. Though this was strange and dangerous, what we tried next was worse.
You know, with that particular scene, I don't understand how anyone could complain that there's quote-unquote magic in the later games. Because that explains literally how there could be in this universe. It's not even technically magic. It's literally just... It's the whole thing where it's like any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic that they're going for. Anytime
Our
that
first
comes
instinct was to travel back, to change the past. But we could not find a way. But forward, we could look forward. And so here we sought to see beyond ourselves and know what was to come. First we watched to learn if our work would succeed. But the answer was always the same. So we moved on to other things. But she remained. The one you call Minerva. In time, she too stopped looking, and instead began to speak. She called out across time, in the hopes that you might be saved. She hid messages where none might find them, save for you and those within this place.
Fascinating.
He's listening in on
Tired of it. The cryptic warnings, the threats. Just tell us what you want!
But they are. We saw the Nephilim there. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Imagine trying to explain all this to a 2-year-old, to a grasshopper. When they said the will of the gods was unknowable, they meant it. Literally.
I killed her, you know. I killed Lucy.
It was the apple, son. It was Juno.
I saw what she was. What would happen if I let her live? I could have stopped myself. I mean, there was a force there. But I didn't have to. I chose to.
Which is true. I had to push the buttons.
Lucy was going to betray us and take the apple back to Abstergo. I saw the satellite launched. I saw them turn it on, and then... it failed. Whatever's on the other side of that door, it benefits Juno. We need to be careful.
Yes. Probably the deepest one they've had so far. But I think that and the one before it are the most interesting things you learn about precursors and maybe the entire series. Especially the whole thing about, like, essentially magic. Because every time that comes up in the series, I will just point whoever complains about it to that particular scene. Well, the scene before that one. Yeah. And, you know, it really does explain the whole thing. I don't think I can climb that, no. Okay. I gotta remember my way around this room. Go down here. We could fall. I thought I would jump. Okay. Pardon moi. I'm trying to get back up there. Could they have made steps normally? They're not lined up at all. There we go. That should do. I believe that's where I needed to go. Yeah. Here we go. Oh man, I've been playing some of the newer games, and I miss the side hops so much. You know, I never really thought about it until I replayed these a few times, and man, I love that like side hop to like get up to the nearest ledge. It's so good. What time is it? Okay.
Wonder what stories the temple will tell me today.
Weren't soon enough. Not gonna go in there until we have that last power source, though. Because I don't want to.
I'm telling you, there's something down here.
Don't be daft.
I don't know, maybe they were sleeping or something and we woke them. Some kind of cryogenics? Or hibernation. I mean, how do we know what the hell they were doing down here?
They were working on a bunch of different solutions, but nothing worked. Just went from one to the next, and then... I don't know. They must have left at some point. After the end.
I wonder what the world would be like if they'd succeeded.
I'm more concerned about what it'll be like if we don't.
Salvation. They found a way. Too late for them, but not for you. Sealed to protect it. So now it bars your way. Find the key. The past will tell.
And that would be why Juno knows, but can't just get in.
Sorry, Desmond. A little busy right now.
Alright. Hey, William. Can we talk? Got anything to say? If I follow you, do you have anything to say? I feel like he doesn't have anything to say, which is a shame. He should always have something to say. I know Sean will have something to say. Sean always does. I'm gonna say William doesn't. Okay. Unnecessary jump.
Unbelievable.
What's up?
Your politicians are constantly referencing the Founding Fathers and insisting they must have been in support of one thing or another. I have never seen such a blatant disregard for history.
That's just typical political propaganda.
It's also dishonest and delusional. How can anyone claim to know what these people wanted based off scraps of paper and wishful thinking?
They're looking for intent. What these men envision for our country and its future.
Idealistic and unlikely. I don't think most of your presidents and senators and judges care what the founders thought. They just want to know how they can bend old words to achieve modern goals. Who cares if they were deists or theists or wanted a central bank? Why do people need the validation? What should matter is what you, as an individual, believe, and why you believe it. What, are we so insecure that we have to find 18th century letters to validate our beliefs? Oh, look, Mum, a dead man agreed with me. Maybe. If you transpose the letters in his shopping list, you can plainly see he was on my side.
Jesus, Sean. It's a cynical way to look at it.
Doesn't make it less true.
Yes, pretty accurate.
I keep trying to understand how men like Washington and Jefferson could dedicate their lives to the pursuit of liberty and equality, yet have no problem owning slaves. It's hypocritical in the extreme, and your history books make only passing mention of the subject, as if it were of little consequence.
They had a war to win. Country's future to secure. How could they deal with all these issues at the same time?
Spoken like a true apologist. We hear it today, too, that matters of civil rights and equality must wait. There are conflicts to settle, economies to salvage. What do any of these things matter if the people are not free and equal? All of them.
Yeah, that's pretty well said. I can understand maybe in a very distant past sense, but like, nah. These days we really don't have any excuse.
I wish there was a way for us to share what we learned from the Animus with others. Imagine being able to accurately answer questions about the past. Or experience lost civilizations.
But how would you cite it? We can't just reveal the machine's existence to the world.
Why not?
Yeah.
Desmond's right. It would be dangerous. And we still haven't found a way to manage the bleeding effect.
Maybe when we're done saving the world, we can look into it.
Even if we do manage to stave off the apocalypse, it's not like the Templars are simply going to disappear. I suspect our fight will continue long after this latest battle is finished.
Yeah, it will. I don't know if there's ever an end to it.
Oh, look at the time. Oh, doesn't time fly? Look, I think it's best we get you back in the Animus, hmm?
Ah, thanks, Sean. Glad you really like chatting with me. I'm assuming Dad still has nothing to say. Yeah, okay, fuck off. I'll go fuck myself. We got some reeds.
Look at that.
Stuff.
I found a third power source.
Already?
It popped up in an earlier search, but I've only just managed to confirm it.
Where?
There's a museum in Cairo with one on display.
I guess Connor will have to wait.
No, you stay.
We need to find that key, and time is running out. I'll make the trip.
What about Cross?
Everything's going to be fine. I'll be back soon.
It is incredibly sad. I'd love to visit Cairo.
Ready when you are, Desmond.
That'd be so cool.
Winter approaches. The air is still and sharp with grim expectation. The others sense it too and go about their work with uncommon urgency. I would like to help them, but more pressing matters now demand my attention. The Templars have targeted George Washington directly, and will not rest until he is dead. I had hoped to shield him from this knowledge, but Thomas Hickey ended any hope I had of staying silent. And so I have resolved to share everything I know of the Templars and their plots, of who I really am. Achilles finds fault in this, and we argue every day, but there is simply too much now at stake to maintain restraint.
1777.
Don't do this, Connor.
Then what would you propose we do? Sit and watch while the Templars take control? We are sworn to stop them, or have you forgotten?
Assassins are meant to be quiet, precise. We do not go announcing conspiracies from the rooftops to all who pass by.
Who are you to lecture anyone? You locked yourself away in this crumbling heap and gave up on the Brotherhood entirely. Since the day I arrived, you've done nothing but discourage me. And on the rare occasions you've chosen to help, you've done so little, you may as well have done nothing at all.
How dare you!
Then tell me, on whose watch did the Brotherhood falter? Whose inaction allowed the Templar Order to grow so large that it now controls an entire nation?
If I sought to dissuade you, it was because you knew nothing. If I was reluctant to contribute, it was because you were naive. 1,000 times you would have died and taken God knows how many with you. Let me tell you something, Connor. Life is not a fairy tale, and there are no happy endings.
No. Not when men like you are left in charge.
That was really harsh considering.
In your
this.
haste to save the world, boy, take care you don't destroy it.
Ha! That hits hard, actually, and you guys will not know that for a while. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. I totally get that line. Anyways, let's see what we had in the database. We had a few things, I do believe. Oh my goodness, there's a lot. Okay. I swear to God we read up on Weems. Yeah, we read up on Weems. We did not read up on City Hall. This building served as New York City Hall starting in 1702. It was also the city jail until the new Gaol... Is it Gaol? I don't know. Opened in 1759. Despite New York's historically loyalist leanings, the building has a decidedly rebel slanted past. Delegates from 9 of the colonies met here to coordinate protests against the Stamp Act. That meant representatives from British instituted legislatures were protesting what British Parliament thought best. Truly huge step at the time. After the Constitution was ratified in 1789, Congress began to meet here, and the building renamed Federal Hall. George Washington was inaugurated as president on the balcony on April 30th, 1789. Oops, sorry, spoiler alert. Yes, he wins the war and becomes president, and then it turns out he was a ghost all along. That would be pretty funny. The building was expanded in 1788, but torn down in 1812. Despite its name, the modern-day Federal Hall National Memorial in New York City was never actually Federal Hall. Which is a shame. Thomas Paine. Paine was a political pamphleteer originally from England. His book, Common Sense, was an argument for American independence and became one of the most popular books in American history, mainly because Americans thought it was a book about common sense and on some level knew they needed it. You know what? Okay, I don't think they properly explained what his book was about. I remember learning about it in, like, elementary school. But yeah. Fair enough, Sean. Well played. At the time, most of the literature about independence was written by lawyers and politicians in the kind of self-important, florid language that can only be understood by college graduates or written by me. However, Common Sense lived up to its title. It was written in straightforward language, so basically anyone could understand its arguments, even people who couldn't read. The book was so popular there were numerous public readings of the text, making it an early audiobook in many ways. While the book wasn't what convinced Congress of the value of independence, they already knew, it did cause a groundswell of popular support, and that was important because Congress needed the public on their side, and they needed to convince soldiers to fight for them. Common sense did both. I don't have any record of Connor actually meeting Payne, but I thought you'd like to know about him as his works played such a crucial role in the Revolution. Yes, I put this at the end so you'd read the whole thing before finding that out. I can be a bastard that way. Sean, that's not the only way. But we love you, Sean, it's okay. The Declaration of Independence. Liberty. Congress unanimously declares the United Colonies free and independent states. Yeah, this is another newspaper, if you couldn't tell. Yesterday, the representatives of all 13 colonies resolved and declared the independence of their citizens and formally disbanded all ties with Britain. This Declaration of Independence, as it is so entitled, was drafted by a committee of authors, principally Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Benjamin Franklin, and expresses in language more eloquent than we are able to describe the events and reasoning that have led to this final disruption. The Second Constitutional Congress began work on this document months ago. Some few among the representatives had every aspiration that the colonies would reconcile with the king and reasonable rights secured. With each additional regiment dispatched to these shores, that hope diminished until all voted in unanimity. I don't know, I'm having trouble with that word. To sever ourselves from our mother country. I believe they meant sever, but there's an extra E in there. John Adams declares that this day should be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shows, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other. Form this time forward forevermore. Form this time for. Why did they put form instead of from? Though that does sound like a very American thing. Yes. Guns and bonfires especially. I like that. Anyways, Declaration of Independence passed July 4th, 1776. You may or may not have heard of this one. This is the document in which the 13 colonies formally declared their independence from Britain. Congress voted to accept the declaration on July 4th, 1776, celebrated today as Independence Day in the United States. Contrary to popular belief, the document wasn't actually signed on July 4th. The first signatures weren't added until the declaration was formally transcribed sometime around the beginning of August. Others were added as the delegates arrived in Philadelphia. By some accounts, the final signature wasn't added until sometime in 1777. The Declaration, with its statement that all men are created equal and that they had the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, became an inspiration for other revolutions that came after it, most notably the French Revolution, against the very government that supported the Americans in their bid for independence. Oops. Yeah, I mean, good on the French. They helped us out, and then they did their own revolution. And honestly, I would argue their revolutions may be more famous. Independence Hall. This was built between the 1730s and 1750s to be the Pennsylvania State House. The architecture is Georgian, which was popular at the time. It essentially means the building was made to look similar to English manor houses of its day. Georgian, of course, being a reference to King George. Some of the most important documents in the American Revolution came out of this building. The Declaration of Independence was first debated and signed here. The United Constitution was drafted here. Did they call it the United Constitution at the time instead of the United States Constitution? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to question it. And if that weren't enough, the Liberty Bell rang in the bell tower to summon people to meetings. Before it cracked beyond repair, of course, and also before it was really known as the Liberty Bell. We won't let that get in the way of a good story. The building became known as Independence Hall in the 1820s, a result of the Marquis de Lafayette, which is one of my favorite characters in this game, making a return trip to the United States. Lafayette's visit was meant to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Revolution, and to remind a new generation what had happened and where. It worked, creating a sense of national history and an obsession with tagging things with the words liberty, independence, freedom, and Washington. And I feel like we should name a few things to Lafayette. I think he's cool. Then we have Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. Anyone who knows the play should know this. I've actually never watched or listened to the play. I seriously don't know anything about it. Other than, like, a little bit. He was one of George Washington's trusted advisors during the American Revolution and the first Secretary of the Treasury of the United States. Hamilton was born in 1757 in the West Indies and was orphaned at the age of 11. However, his cleverness showed early, and his employers pooled their money to send him to university. Either that, or they just wanted him out of the building. Hamilton moved to New York in 1773 and began attending King's College, later Columbia University. By 1774, he was writing pro-rebel articles, not really in the spirit of attending somewhere named after the king, and by 1775, he'd joined the volunteer militia. Again, probably not exactly what his sponsors had in mind when they sent him there. Yeah, I could see. They're like, oh, all this money and time wasted. Hamilton fought during the occupation of New York in 1776. He was a natural leader, and George Washington appointed him to an aide-de-camp, a job he held for 5 years. However, Hamilton was eager to get back into battle, and in 1781 he commanded troops during the decisive victory at Yorktown. Hamilton became a member of Congress for New York in 1788. He developed a particular fixation on the funding of the federal government, which at the time was, well, broke, as it wasn't allowed to demand any taxes from the member states. While that might sound wonderful when you're looking at your federal tax bill, it means your government couldn't do things like pay their army. Soldiers like getting paid. In 1787, Hamilton was named the first Secretary of the Treasury, where he fought for a strong federal government in heated opposition with Thomas Jefferson, who promoted states' rights. Hamilton was responsible for creating much of the foundation of the U.S. fiscal policy, the details of which are probably important, but so indescribably boring I can barely be bothered even to finish the sentence. But I did, because I care. And we care about you, Sean. Thank you. Honestly, I think Alexander and, I can't think, was it Hamilton? Yeah. Well, no. Did I fuck that up? Okay. No, yeah, I totally, my brain for it. Yeah. Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson are probably equally important to our country, honestly. Anyways, Thomas Hickey updated. Let's see. History tells us that Thomas Hickey was hanged for sedition in front of 20,000 troops as an example. That's an interesting interpretation of events, but since New York didn't have a stadium seating at the time, I doubt many of the soldiers had a great view of the execution. The important message for them was, don't be a traitor, you'll get hanged. Not the niceties of who was on the gibbet. So, obviously that, in real life, he definitely was probably hanged. But this is Assassin's Creed, so it's fine. Now, part of me wants to go back to New York and just explore and do other stuff, but I really want to go to where we're headed, actually, here. There's a few things I want to stop and do. Let's fast travel here. Chat with anyone we can, and then we'll head on our way. Oh, just moved my whole futon. There we go, that's much better. Didn't mean to do that.
Gon hoit stanyu. No segum ga iwas ne din gwani gon har. Gatke ante wat the wanio ne jota deka.
Yakta wacheza kana dogo.
Tony at the zatter is niot ne roh naraga.
Ono da zido.
Runde wana to dokha. Nerunstane hadiri wasete.
Yakta otena de guri waset danis.
Doga ya. Sego ancora yandane. Doga gwego tona yaguire.
Yakta tode un guari hoda.
Easy zaderios. Onio jersey ya ii.
Ii gaderios nayawa nene dosa agora da yagodonhuzose.
Nekti wakteruni di deodonhuzom. Radun hagedun sayada kokne easy.
Yeah, you can definitely see something starting up here, like a little subplot.
Da krori di okna hoda. Tigo oya ganyaka haga tuna darohu nejor hot saga. Danu dini joganenu ya unka deje tiswa nedas. Oknize, this is what nedas ne batriot.
Kohnek niga skanek sa ido wada de wanio ne.
The dirty under the dear no haga tunenu ne tiga on a guater on a jata widum. O honorumne tenerunderio son kiriwa her hase ahadinuna zijugwana stadu. Doga ayakia dar hase zironaderio.
Ya to thai zawaire ne ayatsia dar hase.
There's a don zoni gadigaya kia dar hase ne oruyarona jat the weedum.
Gasconix ne dosa ganega is away at daraje ziwaderio.
The Sconix ne ya otena taeguaire. Nixiwakteruni zia gariwes to tayo dumhaget.
You know, he's entirely right. It's a really weird and interesting take to have a Native American main character that doesn't side with the British. It would make much more sense for us to be sided with the British, historically speaking. But I think it's more interesting this way, actually. I fear for the future. And you know what? I think he is entirely fair for that as well, because the natives got the worst end of the stick. Not even like the short end, the worst end.
Zashewer? Nektia ige herde de gariwes.
Arik ko de wacho danser an datum.
O gari hoyewas de got no wandu afcha. Tigo gari hoyeru nitstu za chariu. Wet nesta ji zatni guhrawana, danu zatni guhratani. Nekti gar haratstu oni ji aseru hiaga.
Amagat sanuni hage akawisege, to ganegandu zia taiza wagarunya de.
Dosha zatni guhra, asada detni gura gona de gudero.
Nona amaderio serandapne. Nona amada de wanio hage, tone angodurissa.
Ayawaski yo snorde am nizeri hewe.
Oni.
Connor is very hopeful, but I don't know how much there's any hope for certain things.
Dosha aguyot dat serda dun hagedu.
At least at this point in history. I mean, in our modern timeline, it feels hopeless, but I think, can I get off this fire? I feel like, we could make things work. We just gotta, you know, figure it out. Convince people to not be stupid. It's far, far easier said than done. How do I... That's not what I want. That's not... Oh, wait! Oh my god, I forgot about that. I haven't been doing this. Contracts. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot. We were working on these, yeah? Georgia and South Carolina? Where the hell were we on these? Federica Naval Action. Oh, hold on. Which one of these am I on? Am I on this one? Yeah. The Royal Navy has been sighted off the coast of Georgia. Take the Aquila and rally the Patriot galleys in the area. Excuse me. Capture as many British ships as possible. Go, my friend. South Carolina. Sleeping in Sugar Creek, Patriot officer Thomas Sumter has lost his fighting edge and is rumored to be sleeping through marches and skirmishes. Thus far, he's been fortunate, but as Benestre Tarleton's dragoons descend upon him, his luck will undoubtedly run out. Get there and set him straight before he and his men fall into Tarleton's quarter. Okay. Send both of them on that. So then we'll have 4 of these done. There's 9 left then. Alright, that's fine. We can probably do that. If we don't 100% them by the end of the game, I'm not going to cry. Okay, how do I... Actually, though, how do I... I want my horse. This sucks. The snow is so slow. Oh, here we go. This is a little quicker. You gotta go through the trees if I don't have a horse. I didn't stay in the trees. Oops. do any hunting right now. It is far, far too snowy out for that. Oh, there's no one climbing that one. Not... Okay, you know what? That was totally my own stupidity that fucked that up. We'll just walk. It's fine. We'll just walk very, very slowly through the fucking woods. There's not a whole lot to look at out here, is there? This sucks. Go, Connor. Go, Ratan Kaheta. Rahat. Oh man, I used to be able to say it, now I fucked it up. I haven't played this game in long enough. I've forgotten how to speak his name properly. Ratan Haketon, I believe. Could have totally fucked that up, and I'm sorry. To the very unlikely chance that there's a native speaker watching this that would be disappointed in me. I don't mean to fuck up these names. I try and be respectful and say them right, but I am kind of an idiot. Oh my god, this might... Okay, never mind, we're fine. I thought that was gonna hurt way more. Alright. Keep going, keep going. At least we're on a road. Did I steal one of your horses? I would like a horse. They don't have saddles, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, actually that looks like you can jump into it. I had to think about that for a second. Across the water. There we go. Now we're making some progress. Leave the beaver alone. We don't need to kill it. Not right now, at least. Not necessary. Saw fire into this thing. Brief second. Alright, we gotta cross the river. Let's get some cold water. We'll be alright. We can handle a little bit of cold water. Bonus points if anyone can think of where we'd be going in the winter in this year. We haven't been up here yet. There's a whole region named after it in-game. I'm gonna map a little bit of this out. So I think it's neat. Some fortifications and some cannons. Hunkering down for the winter, it would seem. Just a little bit of a camp there. That's probably the fire that we saw, or this one was maybe. Down the cannons. Yeah. Pretty cool little place. We aren't even in the middle part. Up here. Just have a look around quick. Get some meat. There are some buildings. They don't look. Most of them look a little bit haphazard and just recently put together. Working on building some more, it seems. There we go, we're getting most of this mapped out. I don't think I've ever actually walked around this camp too much. It's kind of neat, though. It's a stone building here. One random stone building in the middle. Oh, sorry. Well, I guess there's a couple stone ones. Not a lot. Most of them are wood. Well, there's a big one. What's this house? Isaac Potts house. This was George Washington's headquarters during the winter of 1777. The house was owned by Isaac Potts. It's a simple country house in the ever-popular Georgian style. The President of Congress wrote that Washington lives himself in a hut that is a little temporary cabin such as one inhabited by the poorest poor, which is exaggeration bordering on slander. Washington lived in a tent for his first week at Valley Forge, but then moved into the Potts house with his entourage. The rest of his soldiers were housed in temporary log cabins built around the valley. However, this house isn't exactly the lap of luxury either. The rooms are small, and it would have been cramped quarters for the military meetings that took place here. And the 25 people who ate, worked, and slept inside. It must have been like an 18th century frat house. It's said amongst Washington's greatest achievements was the invention of beer pong. I don't know if that's actually true, but that would be amazing. Anyway, the house is a compromise between Washington's need to convey the image of a leader, but not place himself too far above the people he leads. Which, I mean, is fair. It's fair. Did we get another one? Oh yeah, Valley Forge. That's where we are. Yeah, bonus points if you knew that. Continental Army suffers deprivations. Oh yeah, this is another newspaper. Encamped a scant 20 miles from Philadelphia, General Washington's army struggles in harsh winter. After the defeat at Brandywine, the Continental Army suffered humiliation as Congress fled Philadelphia in advance of royal troops. The Redcoats subsequently marched upon and occupied our patriot capital. Soon after, miseries were increased with the lamentable defeat at Germantown. General Washington has now located his army at a place called Valley Forge, south of the Schuylkill River. I won't even pretend to know how to pronounce that. Where the high ground of Mounts Joy and Misery provide for easy defense. However, the Patriots must contend with starvation and want of clothing and shelter. Indeed, the general who has set them to the building of huts with logs. He promises $12 to reward the party in each regiment which finishes their hut in the quickest and most workmanlike manner. But under several inches of snow, the soldiers are hard-pressed to complete their task. The lack of food and clothing has led to outbreak of disease, with many succumbing to dysentery and typhus. Indeed, hundreds have died among the some 11,000 troops. Only their undiminished loyalty to the cause of independence and to General Washington has kept them alive. The arrival of military advisor Frederick von Steuben to drill and train the men in correct formations and maneuvers, as well as the considerable number of wives and children that have joined the camp who forage for food and wood, have considerably enlivened the general morale. Which they definitely needed, all things considered. This is kind of like the low point, I feel like, for the revolution. It could have ended here. I think that's a fair thing to say. Are we trying to climb that, Connor? Just trying to get this all mapped out. Because it makes me happy to have it mapped out. I think we actually got pretty much the whole camp. What's this one? Forge, maybe? Or something? I don't know. Whoa, hey. So, relax, Connor. It's okay. I believe we'll be meeting one of my favorite guys pretty soon. Cannon doesn't look so good, George.
Commander.
Connor.
Any word on Lee?
Not yet. My apologies. I've been distracted.
Supply caravans meant for the camp have gone missing. I suspect treachery. A traitor named Benjamin Church, recently released from prison, has vanished as well. The two events are surely related.
What was his crime?
He was caught sending letters to the Loyalists, detailing our troop strength. He claimed it was a scare tactic, that we might avoid war. A poor lie.
I will find Church for you.
Why? What reason have you to help?
Does it matter?
As you wish. We've received reports of trouble along the southern road. Might be he's responsible. I suggest you begin your search there.
Let's find it. Oh, we got an update to Benjamin Church here. Alright. It turns out Church is either an excellent liar, or he changed his allegiances from the rebels back to the British sometime before 1775. That's when he was caught sending coded messages to the British forces in Boston. Rather than being hanged for treason, Church was simply jailed and later exiled. That took some fast talking on his part. His defense was that he was actually helping the Continental Army by exaggerating troop estimates and gunpowder stores. That's some quick thinking. Lucky for Church, the Continental Army only ever knew about the one coded letter. More modern research has showed that he'd been ferrying papers to the British for some time, possibly to pay off some of his debts. Incidentally, his expensive mansion was seized by the newly formed American government and sold to pay off war debts, but not until after it was ransacked by angry rebels. That may seem like poetic justice, but it's somewhat unfair. At the time, Church wasn't even living there. He'd left it to his wife, who he'd abandoned for another woman. Seems he made a habit of betrayal. What a catch. Yeah, it's rough on his wife that he left there. That's an oof. Got another groups. Continental Army. That makes sense. This was the army that George Washington led in the American Revolution, made up of various regiments supplied by the states. The army was officially established by the Continental Congress in June of 1775, shortly after the siege of Boston began. In fact, it was formed specifically to deal with the siege of Boston, which at the time was being carried out by various militia who had fought at the battles of Lexington and Concord. The Continental Army was disbanded in 1783 after the Revolution was formally ended, possibly because people agreed the civilian militias were all the colonies needed to defend themselves, but possibly also because Congress couldn't afford to pay them. My money's on that last one. Yeah, that would also add up. And we got Valley Forge. This is an actual article from Sean on this one. This lasted from December 19th, 1777 to June 19th, 1778. This was the site of the winter encampment for the Continental Army. Valley Forge wasn't Washington's first choice of location. My first choice would have been the Bahamas, but apparently that's quite inconveniently located. The valley was mostly uninhabited, and he felt that it would be easier to house and feed an army in a larger town. Congress, on the other hand, wanted the army nearby, keeping it between them, in New York, and the British Army in Philadelphia. Valley Forge was close enough to Philadelphia to harass British troops there, but far enough away to prevent a surprise attack from the British. A life without surprises, what a thing to wish for. Washington did have a point, though. The army had trouble getting supplies, and Valley Forge had no housing for the troops. And even though the winter was mild, it was cold for an army where a third of soldiers didn't have any shoes. Mild temperatures also meant that it was damp, so disease ran rampant. Thousands died. All of which makes Valley Forge sound like a complete disaster. But the astonishing thing is, it wasn't. The better equipped soldiers took the patrols, the others built houses. Nathaniel Greene was named quartermaster and found supplies. They invented subsistence rations for themselves when food ran low. Baron von Steuben and others arrived and began to drill the troops in military tactics and in basic camp layout and sanitation, helping stop the spread of the disease problem. Far from being the catastrophe it seemed, Valley Forge is legendary today as the proving ground of the American Army. I imagine it would be of little comfort to those who suffered there. Yes, you caught a terrible disease, but well done, you really proved yourself. The Army emerged as a capable fighting force, though, winning a victory almost immediately at the Battle of Monmouth. Which, yeah, it's kind of, like, crazy how it ended up happening. Now we get to talk to one of my favorite guys.
Ah, Connor. What do you think of my work thus far?
The men are bolstered, focused. It is good you have come.
You are too kind. Lord knows my journey was far from certain. The trials we suffered getting here were strange and many. I dressed as a woman, Connor, to evade British spies. Did you know that?
I did not. As a woman, you say?
It is the truth. King George had already stopped our crossing once in Bordeaux, threatening to seize my newly purchased ship, La Victoire, and arrest me. But I was born stubborn, and such a warning could not dissuade me. So we rode for Spain and bought passage aboard the ship there. George's spies had followed us every step of the way. Disguise was the only remaining option, mon Dieu.
No man can doubt your commitment, and you are invaluable to the cause. You did what you needed to do. I am certain I would have done the same.
But of course you would. I expect nothing less.
Alright, anything else you gotta say? No. Yeah! The Marquis de Lafayette. Better known as Lafayette, and it's not surprising, his full name was Marie-Joseph Paul... I don't know how to say that one. Use Roche Gilbert de Motier, Marquis de Lafayette. His business cards must have been 3 feet long. Yeah, no kidding. Lafayette was a French aristocrat and soldier who decided to join the Revolutionary War and became one of George Washington's most loyal supporters. I'm sure his friends just called him MJ. Lafayette came to the colonies in 1777, intent on joining the war effort. So intent, in fact, that he abandoned his post in the French army. When the French army found out his plans, the ship he was intended to sail was seized. And according to one story, Lafayette dressed in women's clothing to better stow away on another ship headed for the New World. We've all done it. Lafayette had been promised a place in the army before he left France, but once he arrived at Congress, became worried that he was just a glory seeker. To smooth things over, Lafayette offered to work for free, and the ever-thrifty Congress awarded him a commission as Major General. That may seem a hefty rank for someone who wasn't quite 20 years old, but Lafayette was both rich and a French noble. And at the time, Congress was hoping to secure more aid from the French government. It would have made me suspicious. There's no such thing as a free French. Well, clearly you're wrong, Sean. Lafayette was placed as an aide-de-camp to George Washington, probably because that's a French word and it seemed to fit, and the two became good friends. Political connections aside, he was an excellent addition to the army. Lafayette was a natural leader. His first real fight was at the Battle of Brandywine, where he was wounded. Despite that, Lafayette organized and led an orderly retreat, which saved hundreds of lives. In 1779, Lafayette returned to France, where he negotiated for more troops to be sent to fight in the Revolution. Exactly what Congress had hoped for when they hired him. After Lafayette returned to the colonies, he was placed in charge of the French troops and was responsible for chasing General Cornwallis into Yorktown. There were other people there too. It wasn't just one man chasing another into the town. That would have looked undignified. After the war, Lafayette returned to France, where he was a leader during the initial part of the French Revolution. Unfortunately for him, he advocated a constitutional monarchy and had to flee when that wasn't enough to satisfy the general populace. He returned to the United States in 1825 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Revolution and was greeted by adoring crowds. In 2002, Lafayette was declared an honorary citizen of the United States, one of 7 people to ever receive the tribute. Arrogantly, Lafayette didn't even bother turning up to the ceremony. That's the French for you. Well, he was, he was a little busy. I think we can forgive him, considering how dead he might have been. There's probably a horse I could have grabbed. Oh well. we run. We barely run. Yeah, I don't know. Lafayette's story is great. I think it's very funny. So I quite like the character and the real life person. I think it's neat. I don't know that Lafayette would feel the same about me, but hey, you know, that's okay. We probably shouldn't idolize people from the past anyways. I just think he's neat. And I'm glad he's in the game. I'm glad he gets along with Connor. Seems like a fair match. In terms of, like, getting along with someone. I feel like they would get along. To a certain extent, at least. Can I, there we go. Go. Do it. I wouldn't say Lafayette's my favorite character in the series, but maybe my favorite side character in this game that doesn't really do much. I think that might be a fair statement. Alright, Benjamin Church in the church. Let's go. But he's not here. Look out!
Father, Connor, any last words? Wait, a poor choice.
Come to check up on Church? Make sure he'd stolen enough for your British brothers?
Benjamin Church is no brother of mine. No more than the Redcoats or their idiot king. Oh, I expected naivete, but this... The Templars do not fight for the crown. We seek the same as you, boy. Freedom, justice, independence.
But...
But what?
Johnson, Pitcairn, Hickey, they sought to steal land, to sack towns, to murder George Washington.
Johnson sought to own the land, that we might keep it safe. Pitcairn aimed to encourage diplomacy, which you cocked up thoroughly enough to start a goddamn war. And Hickey? George Washington is a wretched leader. He's lost nearly every battle in which he's taken part. The man's racked with uncertainty and insecurity. Only look at Valley Forge to know my words are true. We're all better off without him. Look, much as I'd love to spar with you, Benjamin Church's mouth is as big as his ego. You clearly want the supplies he's stolen. I want him punished. Our interests are aligned.
So, let's see.
What do you propose?
A truce. Perhaps some time together might do us good. You are my son, after all, and might still be saved from your ignorance. I can kill you now, if you prefer. Excellent. Shall we be off?
Do you even know where Benjamin Church has gone?
I'm afraid not. I'd hoped to ambush him when he or one of his men returned here. It seems I'm too late. They've come and cleared the place out.
I may be able to track him.
Oh, how the turns have tabled. Now we're working with the Templars. Also, I do find it a little funny that he knows who we are. Like, I guess there would be a reason that he would, but, like, we've basically not interacted at all. I totally missed this as well. Man. Walked right by it.
There were rations inside the crates. Medical supplies and clothing as well.
Okay. Probably would have learned that from that as well. Oh well. Cart tracks.
Snow has obscured the tracks, but enough remains that we can still follow.
Let's see. I think our mission's got
Just my luck. Going to freeze to death if I don't get this fixed.
Oh, you're gonna have way worse.
Are you Ben Church's man?
Well played.
Why didn't we just grab it? Okay, but real quick, I want to do this. Yeah, look at that. We got those. Okay, let's see. We got, well, those are 2, 2, 3, a bunch of 2s and 3s. Connecticut's a 2. New Jersey's a 2. Delaware's a 2. Maryland's a 2. We should take down North Carolina. Alright, Moores Creek, an inexperienced battalion of North Carolina militiamen are set to stand against a large force of British regulars. Some clever tactics would help to push the encounter in favor of the Patriots, something the Templars do not want. Ooh. I don't like that. That's not a guarantee. Nah. Okay, we're just gonna do that. Staying down one at a time for a second. Let's get this guy. Get him.
It was not wise to run.
What do you want?
Where is Benjamin Church?
I don't know. We was riding for a camp just north of here. Is where we'd normally unload the cargo. Maybe you'll find him there.
Enough of that. You did not have to kill him.
Let's not waste time with all this pointless banter. Go catch up with the rest of Church's men. Infiltrate that camp of theirs and see what you can discover.
What about you?
Never you mind. Just do as I ask.
You may be an awful guy for just killing people all the time, but I love his dialogue so much. Alright, let's do this.
Was a good haul today. Saw a bit of gunpowder in those crates. We'll get extra for that. Aye, Church will be pleased and we'll be rich.
Perfect. This'll do.
I almost feel bad for the Yanks, shivering and starving out there. It's a hard way to go. All they need to do is raise the white flag. They should have done that a long time ago. All this fighting serves no purpose. The Crown's sure to win in the end. To waste all those lives chasing a fool notion breaks my heart.
That's one way to look at it, I suppose. It is one of those things in hindsight, like, of course they won, but they really could have lost. If you were there at the time, you probably wouldn't have expected to win if you were a Patriot. Why is it telling me to do that? Yeah, is that... What's this? Yeah, that's done. Okay. Confusion at Ramsar's Mill. Two militias are set to clash in Ramsar's Mill, North Carolina. Neither side has been ordered by Patriot or British command. Brothers, neighbors, and friends will kill each other in the name of liberty. Get there immediately and convince one of the sides to retreat and minimize needless casualties. Send our 2 boys to do that. Oh, do not hide in the hay cart. I thought it said to hide in the hay cart. Oops.
Manifest. All right, looks to be in order. Oi, where's the foreman?
Center camp, near the tree. Can't miss him.
Thank you kindly.
You won't be thanking me when you hear what he's got planned.
About time you showed up. Listen here. Boss wants us to try something new tonight. A raid. No more convoys. We're to steal from the Yank camp itself.
Valley Forge.
This works.
That's right.
You sure about this?
It's not my business to be sure or not sure. I just do as Church asks. If you're so concerned, take it up with him.
Is he here?
Course not. Hiding in New York, the last I heard. Trying to keep a low profile. What, on account of him not wanting to go back to jail and all?
All right, I'm in.
I can't believe that worked as well as it did. It's not working anymore.
Look what we found.
He was creeping around the camp all suspicious like.
Must be a Yank spy.
Ah, he's something else. Something special. Isn't that right, Hatham? Church told me all about you.
Then you should know better than this.
You're not really in a position to be making threats, are ya?
Not yet.
Ah. Where's my big ass axe? I want that.
Once you've dealt with these louts, meet me in New York.
What? You mean to just leave? Now?
If you can't handle a couple of mercenaries, then we've really no business working together.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god. Keep forgetting I do like that. That'll do. New emails? Are they actually new this time? I think I know what happened. I probably read them all out at the end of the last episode. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Now we get to go to New York again. So we started over at that side last time. Let's start at this side. Because why not? Why not? We didn't really get a proper look at New York anyways. I don't think we even synchronized
If you could
anymore.
spare a fight for us, we'd be in your debt, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Beat us for begging. Just distract him for a moment, and we'll take what we need.
Alright. Where?
Too many eyes on us.
Oh, the Benedict Arnold mission's over there. Oh, yeah.
We'll starve before long.
Oh, beat them up. Oh. No, okay, that was totally on me. Oops. Didn't read it. I got distracted, okay?
I don't much care where you find it. Just get me the money, or you'll suffer the consequences and be removed from your home. It's not complicated. Oh, good day, sir.
Darling, take the children and stay out of sight.
Bloody business that was, but I thank you nonetheless. I can rest easy knowing this extortionist won't be back threatening my family.
Glad I could help you. Alright, let's go check out this. Let's go meet our contact. I want more assassins. This is probably the part where I start to do all the stuff in New York. There we go, we got that one done. Next up, we got Prisoner of Cane Creek. David Fanning and Hector McNeil have captured Governor Burke and are marching him to Cornwallis, We have reason to believe McNeil bears the Red Cross and must be stopped. Shall be done. Alright. Need to get us a new assassin. Who are you and why would you like to be an assassin?
Might I have a word? Name's Dobby Carter. Couldn't help but notice you're getting involved in the goings-on in our borough. Thought we might be of service to each other.
What is happening here?
Ever since the war kicked off, merchants have been demanding high prices for the good of the cause. Profiteering is what that is. It's high time the folks round the way got a fair shake.
How can I help?
That easy. That's a change. Set these up nearby when you get a chance. It's part of a bigger plan I got. Come see me when you're done.
Alright.
If you could spare a bite for us, we'd be in your...
Okay, let's make sure I'm not gonna kill these guys. He actively turned around. That's hilarious, oh my god. Okay. Let's get our peg leg trinket. Over here. The way that guy turned around, he didn't look though. Oh, that was fantastic.
I don't much care where you find it. Just get me the money, or you'll suffer the consequences. Oh, good day, sir. Have you...
Darling, take the children and stay out of sight.
Oh, good day, sir.
Bloody business that was. But I thank you nonetheless. I can rest easy knowing this extortionist won't be back threatening my family.
Looting this man. You watch me kill a bunch of people, and the first thing you try to do is fucking knock me over. What the fuck, man? There we go. Let's have a look around and see if we can't find more of those to help out with. Get some of this mapped out. Don't have much time left for this episode. I really should have already been asleep. But we'll play for
I don't much care
maybe a
where
half
you
hour
find
longer.
it. Just get me the money, or you'll suffer the consequences and be removed from... Oh, good day, sir.
Darling, take the children and stay out of sight.
Gotcha.
Bloody business that was. But I thank you nonetheless. I can rest easy.
You can rest easy. Just about to sink up here. Might as well do that. Oh, yeah. Super burned part of town there. This is King's College. King's College first opened on the first floor of the Trinity School in 1754, but it moved to the building that you see here in 1760. This building survived the fire in 1776, but it wasn't being used as a school at the time. It had been shut down under the orders of the Continental Army and turned into a hospital. It didn't open again until the war ended, when it was given a new name, Columbia College. Another example of the word king falling out of favor among Americans, unless it involves burgers, of course, which just sums you people up. The college stayed here until the mid-19th century when it moved to Midtown. The building's cornerstone was moved to the new location, but the rest was torn down and the land underneath it was sold at a tidy profit, which is the history of much of downtown New York. Yeah. Pretty neat to see in the game. Honestly, one of the bigger buildings in this game. Just crazy to think. middle. Oh, the weather vane. I need a new, like, seat. This is really uncomfortable. There we go. There's a spot over there we can help out at. Get a nice view of the burned town, except for that church over there. Alright, can I, jump this way safely.
Mister, please, can you help me?
What's up?
Praise be to God. I was reaping my yield and these lobsterbacks attacked me. I mean only to sell my produce in the borough. Please, they sent for reinforcements when I fought back. I only need to finish the harvest, and I cannot rebuff them alone.
Alright. Give me my axe. I'll handle it.
Weapons at the ready.
Putting our notoriety up, that's the only bad thing. That'll do. It's always funny to see them just stand there and watch you kill their friends. Hey, get off him.
Thank you, stranger. This food will sell fast at a regular price. Those men have been seizing everything and driving up the cost. It's not right.
I agree. Let's see if it gave us any more that we can see. Let's go retry that one at the fucking start. Now that we got that. And we'll just go like that. Sure. Just a little bit to map out here. There we go. Don't climb the tree. Just go this way. There we go. This looks much nicer. For that bit of a road that never got mapped out. Much better. Alright, we are kind of wanted, so maybe we should avoid these guys for a second. Otherwise, it'll just cause us more issues. I think they didn't disappear. Oh my god. I thought they fucked off because I didn't see them on the map anymore. Doesn't appear to
If
be
you
the
could
case.
spare a bite for us, we'd be in your debt, sir.
Like I turned around again. We're all kids. Alright. Grab that one next. And if there is any way to get rid of our wanted level, we'll take it. Not trying to be super wanted right now. That just got done. So we can put some more work in down here. Fighting the Pox. The 2nd North Carolina Regiment is marching to join forces with General Washington. Very few of them have been exposed to smallpox, and risk of an outbreak is high. Meet the column in Alexandria and provide them with inoculations. Alright, that should do it. It's very important to not not spread the smallpox. Almost walked into that tree again. Oops. Well, wasn't that tree last time? It was a different tree. Point being. Ooh. Mind if I do? That will help. That will definitely help. Alright, let's see what we got going.
Back off. These are my blankets.
Oh, I don't really care. You can cry about it. They're infected.
What you doing, burning my blanket?
Your blankets are infected with smallpox. You should get to the doctor right away.
Oh, that's just great.
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal. Oh yeah, there's a doctor character. That's what that was for. I remember. Damn member berries. Okay.
Move along, move along. I've claimed these blankets for myself.
Too bad.
Back off.
Why you gotta go off and do that? Blankets ain't cheap.
This blanket has the pox in it. You need to see a doctor as soon as possible.
Ah, hell.
Yeah. Let's get this fucking page here. Where is it? Fuck, it went that way. No! I lost it, damn it. It's definitely getting away now. Oh, I got it. Holy shit. I can't believe I caught that. Wow. Okay. Let's sync this. We can keep in the northern half to try and get those missions done. What time do we got? I keep checking the time. Alright, yeah, we don't got too much time left. Let's see what we can manage in that night. And then next time we can just work on more New York when we come back. Or when I come back. Oh, you guys are playing. Wish I wasn't at all wanted. That would help a lot. We'll figure that out in good time, though. It's a big old church. I think it's a different model than any of the other ones we've seen. This one's probably a generic one, though. Considering it, I don't think it gave us a thing when we got here. I'll check after we sync, but I don't believe it was a location. It's the cross on the top looks cool. They added like a littler cross on top of it. That's fun. Oh, that's not one. There. Yeah, it's not a location. I know there's... Oh, it's probably not this one. It's that one over there is the one I was thinking of. I was gonna say, there's like a church that's named around here. This part of New York isn't super burned up. Let's see what we're working with. another page there, but we'll come back for that. I want to go to this. Liberation missions. That's what I'm focusing on. We'll grab anything else that's worth grabbing, obviously, but I want to do these.
If you could spare a bite for us, we'd be in your debt, sir.
Alright, this is actually where we were before, I believe. Bridewell Prison. By 1773, the prison population at the New Gaul was getting so large that the city began plans for a new prison. Actually, we might have been at the other one. I don't remember. Bridewell was started in 1773. The building was finished in 1775, but before it saw much use, the war happened, and the British started to fill it with American POWs. Prison conditions were terrible. Imagine a budget hotel, then take away the budget. There was very little food, most of it bad. There were no window panes, just bars over openings in the walls. One prisoner wrote that in 3 winter months, the only fire he saw was in the lanterns on the street. This was before our 2.5 centuries of global warming, so you can imagine how cold it was. When the war ended, this building went back to its intended use, holding local criminals and debtors. I can only hope the new government eventually installed windows and started work on the catering. The building was torn down in 1838, and the stones were used to build a new prison that went by the happy nickname of the Tombs, which wasn't nearly as glamorous as it sounds. It's been the pet name of every Manhattan jail since. One moment, has someone messaged me? Alright, someone has messaged me, but I will not look at it right now. Very well. Get just a little more of this.
These two chase us and beat us when they can. If you could draw them away, we could take just enough to fill our bellies for the night.
Those guys, yeah.
They're too close.
Be quick before that other guy, that group of soldiers gets over here. There we go. That'll do. Now, let's just check out up here quick and see what else we can find. I almost didn't make it over that because I almost went over the part you couldn't climb over. Oops. What do we got down here? Pig. Just one pig, though. That's all you need, I guess. Because we all know you only need one pig to make more pigs. Or something like that. What's this building down here? Anything cool? Here, chest. Chest is cool. Soap! Soap! No, soap! Rip Soap. He died. He is gone, but not forgotten. Stomachache remedy. Tool belts. Getting all the recipes. Woodworking tools. I totally wasn't even paying attention. There's ciders. Toy dolls. $750. That's my favorite one. Better than all the rest. That's for sure. You know, I really should stop at a shop and, like, buy some maps and stuff. The chest map especially would be good for this. But, I don't know. Lazy. Didn't feel like it. Alright. We found anything of note? Oh, I totally passed one. Well, I think there's a something up here. Let's go take a look. Yeah, fort. I don't want to do a fort right now. I want to do this. Let's go do this. Just gotta go 150 more some meters. This is before, I guess, we used the Imperial system. As you know, we were definitely using the metric system in America back then. Yeah, we never used that shit.
Mister, please, can you help me?
Yeah.
Praise be to...
Let me just whip out my
God.
big axe.
I was reaping my yield and these lobster backs attacked me. I mean only to sell my produce in the borough. Please, they sent for reinforcements when I fought back. I only need to finish the harvest. Mister, please, can you help me? Praise be to God. I was reaping my yield and these lobster backs attacked me.
That's not
I mean only to sell my produce in the borough. Please, they sent for reinforcements when I fought back. I only need to finish the harvest, and I cannot rebuff them alone.
Why am I... Come on. I think I had him. Thank you. Helped quite a bit. Did it glitch? Yeah, I think it glitched. Hold on. Actually, yeah, that's got done. Forget what we're currently doing. Outmatched at Wetzel's Mill. An assassin ally Otho Williams of the Patriot Army is in grave danger. Nathaniel Green has sent him to scout for Benastre, Tarleton's dragoons. If he finds them, he will die. Get to Wetzel's Mill as quickly as possible and protect Williams and his men. Understood. Is that particularly necessary? Get him. If he wants to play like that, get him. Take him down. Down. Excellent. There's more.
Thank you, stranger.
Oh, there we go.
This food will sell fast at a regular price. Those men have been seizing everything and driving up the cost. It's not right.
You're right, it's not right. Any more? Let's mark this and see if we can find the last one. It's gotta be in here somewhere in this area, right? They certainly... Okay, that was the wrong one. They certainly didn't get that mission done, did they? It said like 12 minutes, I thought. Not even look. Just know it's not done. Don't mind if I do. That's my trinket. Thank you very much. Anything going on in this field? No. Doesn't appear like there is. Just map it out. Come on, I just want to finish these tonight. Like, if I could get just these done, I would actually be pretty satisfied with the episode. Come on, where is it? Don't mind me, I'm definitely not wanted for killing a bunch of soldiers. Where the hell is this person that I need to help? I didn't mean to take this horse, but it's mine now. Such an unnecessarily high jump for the horse, for no reason. Like, relax, horse. It's not that deep. Let's see what's going on over here. I want to take down that poster, but kind of got to get away for now. Over here a little bit. Waiting. Go back. There's a thing on the map there. Looks like a big turnip or something. Dismount. I said dismount. Gotta get this. Sure. Nothing yet. Wow. Must be somewhere in these areas. Okay. Let's see. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Somewhere around here. Maybe. Possibly. Definitely not down here. So we're probably looking for a farm. Fuck the horse. I don't want to get the horse anymore. What the hell, horse? Settle down. I didn't mean it that way, okay? Relax. Just don't want to ride you no more. I don't have nothing for you. Fine, it's fine. If we want any hope of finding this farm, probably this direction. Vaguely-ish. There we go. Very satisfactory. Getting the map looking a lot nicer. I'll tell you what. things on the map. Gotta be getting close, right? It's gotta be around here somewhere. There's really not a lot of space for it to be in left. Unexplored. Come on, game, show me what I'm looking for. Nothing yet. It's crazy. It's actually kind of ridiculous. We haven't found it. Come on. Oh, it's right over here. Okay, we're super close. Excellent. About time. Let's defend this man.
Mister, please, can you help?
Yeah.
Praise be to God. I was reaping my yield and these lobsterbacks attacked me. I mean only to sell my produce in the borough. Please, they sent for reinforcements when I fought back. I only need to finish the harvest, and I cannot rebuff them alone.
Don't worry, you won't have to. I am here. Come on. Trying to avoid getting wanted low if I can. There we go. Stefan is helping a lot.
Thank you, stranger.
Hey,
this
we
food
didn't get
will sell
wanted.
fast at a regular price. Those men have been seizing everything and driving up the cost. It's not right.
Assassin earned a new rank. I mean, he can start doing these on his own? Maryland. Just want to see. Yeah, still 70% success. Alright. So that should unlock us that mission, which we will do next time. Let's maybe grab this almanac, and that's going to be what I call good then. Because, yeah, I really need to get some sleep. Check out whatever I was messaged. I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% certain. So, we'll see. Anyways, I do really want to stream this again, ideally tomorrow. I know I said I would stream Oblivion. I haven't really felt the want. I will eventually stream it. It's not like it's going away forever. But, yeah, I don't know. I have a lot harder time getting into that than into Assassin's Creed, which is hilarious because, like, Assassin's Creed feels like busy work a lot of time. I don't know. Maybe I like that. I don't really understand. My brain is an enigma. After all. Get out of there, cat. There we go. I think that should be good. Next time we'll probably start with that side mission over there to get our new assassin recruit. And that's going to be how we do it. Until then, I do thank you guys for watching. It is always an honor. Just gotta plug this back in quick. And we will catch you next time. Until then, this has been King Enderman 26 signing off.